Have you ever asked yourself how an individual born into slavery could become one of America's most influential figures? This is the story of Frederick Douglass, a name that echoes through the annals of American history as a beacon of courage, resilience, and unwavering dedication to the fight against slavery and racial injustice. Born into the shackles of slavery as Frederick Augustus Washington Bailey in the February of 1818, Douglass's early life was marked by hardship and struggle in Talbot County, Maryland. Despite the harsh conditions and the cruelty of his masters, young Frederick was not to be broken. His spirit, far from being crushed, was kindled into a fiery resolve. He would rise against the odds, teaching himself to read and write under the cover of secrecy, and at the tender age of 20, would make a daring escape from the clutches of enslavement. What followed was a journey that transformed him into a prominent abolitionist, a compelling orator, and a respected statesman. Frederick Douglass, a name synonymous with courage, resilience, and a relentless fight against slavery and racial injustice. Born into chains, Frederick Augustus Washington Bailey had a beginning that was anything but ordinary. His entrance into the world in February of 1818 was marked not with celebration, but with the cold reality of bondage in Talbot County, Maryland. The institution of slavery, a dark and inhumane practice, was his birthright, an inheritance he neither asked for nor deserved. His mother was a woman of strength and dignity, but the brutal system of slavery tore them apart while Frederick was still in the tender years of infancy. The young boy was left to navigate the world, not in the comforting embrace of his mother, but under the harsh rule of various slave masters. His childhood was a far cry from the carefree days of play and exploration that most children enjoy. Instead, it was a cruel baptism into a life of servitude and hardship. The conditions he faced were nothing short of harrowing. He was subjected to grueling labor, scarce meals, and the constant fear of physical punishment. His masters, blinded by the dehumanizing nature of slavery, saw him not as a child but as property, as a commodity to be bought, sold, and exploited. Yet even in these dark times there was a spark within Frederick, a spark that refused to be extinguished by the crushing weight of his circumstances. An innate desire for freedom began to take root. He yearned for more than the life he was born into. He yearned for a life of dignity, of autonomy, of freedom. In these early years, the seeds of rebellion and a thirst for freedom were sown. These seeds would later blossom into a fierce determination to break free from his chains, propelling him onto a path that would not only alter his own destiny, but also the course of history. In a world where knowledge was power, Douglass found a way to seize it. Embodying the essence of resilience and defiance, Frederick Douglass, a young slave, dared to challenge the status quo. The law forbade him to learn to read and write, and yet, his thirst for knowledge was unquenchable. He understood that education was the key to breaking the shackles of his physical and mental bondage. In the shadows of secrecy, Douglass embarked on a quest for knowledge. Every stolen glance at a book, every secret lesson, every word he deciphered was a step towards his emancipation. He was not supposed to know the alphabet, let alone read, but he dared. He dared to learn, dared to question, dared to dream. His weapon of choice was not a sword, but a pen. His battleground was not a field, but the mind. His self-education was not a mere act of personal rebellion. It was a testament to his indomitable spirit. Douglass was building an arsenal of knowledge, preparing himself for the journey that lay ahead. At the tender age of 20, Douglass made a daring escape. His flight was not just a physical journey from Maryland to Massachusetts, it was a spiritual and intellectual voyage from bondage to freedom. He borrowed identification papers, posed as a free sailor, and navigated his way to liberty. His journey was fraught with risks, but his courage was unwavering. His dream of freedom was so vivid, so compelling, that it eclipsed the fear of capture. Douglass's escape from slavery was not the end, but the beginning. He had gained his freedom, but he had not quenched his thirst for justice. He had escaped the clutch of his masters, but he had not forgotten the cries of his brothers and sisters still in chains. He had broken his own shackles, but he had not ceased his fight against the institution of slavery. His flight to freedom was not just an escape from bondage, but the beginning of a lifelong battle against it. His journey to freedom was a beacon of hope, a testament to the power of the human spirit, and a prologue to his crusade for abolition. Once a slave, now a free man, Douglass was not content with his own freedom alone. He sought to abolish the institution that had held him captive for the first 20 years of his life. Settling in New Bedford, Massachusetts, he found his calling in the abolitionist movement, a collective effort to end slavery. His eloquent speeches, driven by first-hand experiences, laid bare the harsh realities of slavery. He spoke of the brutality, the dehumanization, and the systemic oppression that were intrinsic to this institution. His vivid accounts of life as a slave stirred the hearts of many, making them question the morality of a society that permitted such atrocities. In addition to his powerful oratory, Douglass wielded the pen with equal fervor. His autobiography, Narrative of the Life of Frederick Douglass, an American Slave, published in 1845, became an instant bestseller. The book was more than just a recounting of his life. It was an indictment of slavery, a plea for justice, and a testament to the indomitable human spirit. This narrative was a game-changer. It resonated with people far and wide, bringing the abolitionist cause into the mainstream consciousness. It gave a voice to the voiceless, and put a human face on the inhumane institution of slavery. The book's impact was immense, and it became a powerful tool in the hands of abolitionists. But Douglass didn't stop at writing and speaking. He took on leadership roles within the abolitionist movement, working alongside prominent activists like William Lloyd Garrison and Sojourner Truth. He founded and edited several abolitionist newspapers, including the North Star and Frederick Douglass's paper. These platforms amplified his voice and his message, advocating for the immediate and complete abolition of slavery. Through his words and actions, Douglass became a beacon of hope and a symbol for the abolitionist movement. He was a testament to the power of resilience, of education, and of the human spirit. His life's work was a testament to the belief that no man should live in chains, and his legacy continues to inspire generations to fight for justice and equality. From the chains of slavery to the halls of government, Douglass's journey was nothing short of extraordinary. Transitioning from a life marked by bondage to one of profound influence, Frederick Douglass's leadership and advocacy have left an indelible mark on the pages of history. In the throes of the abolitionist movement, Douglass emerged as a beacon of hope and resistance. He worked tirelessly alongside renowned activists like William Lloyd Garrison and Sojourner Truth, amplifying their collective voice against the atrocity of slavery. His eloquent speeches echoed far and wide, shedding light on the harsh realities of slavery and inspiring many to join the cause. But his advocacy didn't stop there. Douglass wielded the power of the written word, founding and editing several abolitionist newspapers, including the North Star and Frederick Douglass's paper. Through these platforms, he steadfastly championed for the immediate and complete abolition of slavery, urging his readers to envision a world unmarred by such inhumanity. When the Civil War culminated and the chains of slavery were finally broken, Douglass didn't rest on the laurels of victory. He continued his tireless advocacy, turning his attention to the fight for civil rights and equality in the Reconstruction era. He became a stalwart supporter of the women's suffrage movement, lending his influential voice to the call for voting rights and education for African Americans. His dedication to justice and equality carried him into the realm of statesmanship. Douglass held several government positions, most notably serving as the U.S. Minister to Haiti. He was also a presidential appointee in various administrations, a testament to his unwavering commitment to the cause of freedom and justice. Frederick Douglass's legacy extends far beyond his lifetime, inspiring generations of activists and leaders in the ongoing struggle for civil rights and social justice. His life is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the power of determination. Frederick Douglass, the former slave, had become Frederick Douglass, the statesman and advocate for justice. Frederick Douglass left an indelible mark on American history. Born into the brutality of slavery, he rose to become one of the most prominent voices for freedom and equality. From secretly teaching himself to read and write, to his daring escape from bondage, Douglass's early life was underscored by courage and resilience. As a free man, he wielded his words and experiences as powerful weapons against slavery, becoming a beacon of hope for many. His best-selling autobiography not only exposed the dehumanization of slavery, but also served as a rallying cry for the abolitionist movement. Beyond the abolition of slavery, Douglass continued his advocacy, championing civil rights and women's suffrage. His influence extended to the halls of government, where he held numerous positions, including U.S. Minister to Haiti. Frederick Douglass's life is a testament to the human spirit's ability to overcome adversity and make a lasting impact on the world. A true hero, his legacy continues to inspire generations in the ongoing fight for equality and justice.